Can we talk about Shonda Rhimes? Okay? Shonda Rhimes. This lady has me acting the fool. Because I don't read romance novels. I don't watch history romance. But this Bridgerton show, I need to vent. I need to talk to someone about this. The show was so good. They did such a great job. Listen, I came from Christmas lunch. I was all fed, full, sleepy. I didn't know what I was going to do for the afternoon. So off from work. So I decided, you know, let me just watch some Netflix. I saw someone online talking about the characters, and then I saw Demetria. She's an American podcaster. She posted something about not wanting to reveal any spoilers, that the show was great, everybody needs to check the show out. So I was like, okay, let's just try this. I've been on like a documentary binge lately, so I was like, let me try some fiction, you know, just relax, Christmas evening, not working the next day, let me just try. I have to admit, I wasn't really excited about watching the show because Netflix had put a bit of a summary about it. It was nothing impressive, and I don't really know much about the books. So I watched the first episode mostly with my phone in hand. I didn't really pay a lot of attention. I missed a lot of things in the first episode. But what ended up happening is that I then went into the second episode, and by the second episode I started to pay attention. I put my phone down and I was hooked. Safe to say that I binged the whole night. I finished the whole first season that one night. Okay, so I did not sleep on Christmas Day. Okay, first I'm gonna start off by saying that I never read the books. This was my first introduction to the series. I'm not much of a romance novel avid reader. I do not know Julia Quinn, I think the writer. I don't know these characters. I don't know the plot. I did go and get the first book now after watching the series because now I'm interested and I'm invested. But please, like, the crazy fandom, do not come and judge, because I don't know these characters. I don't know the storyline. I'm just discovering this for the first time, and I think that was the whole intention of the story. I remember there was a big hoo-ha when the trailer came out online a bit. I watched it, and then I saw some of the comments. People were saying it's like an 18th century Gossip Girl, XOXO type of situation, and some of the original fans of the book series were complaining about the castings. I think mainly because there's black people casted. Who cares? But we, the newbies to the series, we don't care. We don't know these characters. We're not invested. We don't know how it's supposed to play out. So we're just out here to enjoy Miss Shonda and all the drama. So basically, the series is set in the 18th century, the early 18th century, during the Regency. That's the time before the Victorian time, when King George III was King of Great Britain. And we are introduced to this well-off-to-do family, the Bridgertons. They are a family consisting of the matriarch, the mom, who survived the father's passing away and is left with her 8 children. We are introduced to the Bridgerton siblings. There's 8 of them. Their names are in alphabetical order. There are a lot of characters in the series, which is the one thing that I think I struggled with in the first episode, that I wasn't paying so much attention. You get introduced to all of these characters, and the script and the dialogue moves very fast, so you need to try and keep up, or else you will miss stuff. So the Bridgertons are very pretty. The makeup and the ladies is subtle. The costuming, I enjoyed this part. Apparently the author says when she wrote the books, she was not very detailed, so Shonda and the team had a lot of leeway with regards to building this world and creating this world, so that everything they basically had creative license to say to go all out, and Netflix gave Shonda the budget, honey, to go all in crazy. Where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. So, but the costumes are beautiful. The makeup on the ladies in the Bridgerton family is very subtle. The colors are very subtle as well. You see the pastel blues, the light pinks, the very soft colors, and you get this impression that the Bridgertons are of a higher social standing and of a high financial standing than the Farringtons. And in the Farringtons, we get introduced to them. It's their mom, and she has 3 daughters, and then I just immediately fell in love with Penelope, who's the youngest daughter. And apparently in the book, the husband had passed on, but in the series, the husband is present or not, you will see. And the contrast between this Farrington family and the Bridgerton family, you get to see it played out as well in how the characters are displayed to us. Firstly, they have very bright red hair. I loved Penelope's hair. I followed the character, the actress actually, Nicola. She actually has blonde hair, but she's got this bright red hair in the series. And all of her sisters also have bright red hair, and the colors of their costumes are very bright. Even the colors of the houses, in comparison to the Bridgerton, they're not soft colors, like bright, harsh colors. Even the makeup is very harsh and bright. The walls are green. The dresses, their costumes are very brightly colored. And during the series, they talk about their family colors. I'm not really sure what the family, because they kept on changing the colors, but it was quite obvious that theirs was the very bright colors and the Bridgertons were the light colors. But mainly everyone is getting ready for the new courting season or the social season, and all the ladies and all the moms are trying to marry off their daughters. Everybody's getting ready for this big debutante ball where the ladies of age are going to get introduced to society, as they now will be ready to go out and be courted by the gentlemen. So that's what we see. We see the Farrington mom squashing the one of the girls into her little corset so that she could get into the dress and look all presentable. And then we also see Daphne all excited for the ball while her older brother Anthony is off somewhere doing Lord knows what. You will see. So the next scene, we are at the ball. We meet Queen Charlotte, who is the Queen of Great Britain, and apparently King George's III wife's name was actually Queen Charlotte, so Shonda was being accurate there with regards to history. And then we get to see how the ladies walk through the ball hall and they get introduced to the society. You see the 3 Farrington ladies being all awkward, walking next to each other towards the Queen and not really making a good first impression. And the Queen does not look impressed. She's just like looking down on them like, okay, move on. And then after that, Daphne comes, and the premise is built that Daphne is the striking beauty, and I think she's okay. Like, she's a beautiful person, but all of the characters look beautiful to me, so I don't know. We told that Daphne is a striking beauty, and she saunters through the hall towards the Queen, and the Queen is paying attention to Daphne. Everybody in the room is paying attention to Daphne because Daphne is the girl. I mean, and even the character of Lady Whistledown, who's the author or the writer of this gossip blog or this scandal sheet that was being distributed, calls her the star of the first waters. So everybody is really taken up by Daphne. Even the Queen can't hide how excited she is to meet Daphne. She gives her a kiss and tells her that she made a great impression. Obviously, Daphne is happy, and by the next morning, this column by Lady Whistledown comes out. This is the shade room of the Times, girl. This is the XOXO gossip girl, comes and tells all the simpletons how the high class people were living the night before and what they were doing. And we actually see the effect and how seriously everyone takes what Lady Whistledown writes about them and what she says and what she feels in the gossip that she starts. Okay, so the next scene, we meet Simon for the first time. Simon is sort of the hero of the story. He's attractive. He is hot. Okay. I hate those little looks and stares that he gives. Minus that, his body, oh my god. So Simon Bassett enters. He's the Duke of Hastings. Yes, so I'm checking my notes because I forget all these names. He's the Duke of Hastings. And he is this bad boy on his horse, coming in with the dark clothes on his black horse, and just not interested. It's not about this whole social season of making a wife and being partnered. He is not interested, honey. He's not trying to look for a wife, but all the girls want themselves some Simon. And Simon goes and meets his mom's friend, who is Lady Danbury. I love her. And in the scene, she's wearing this maroon dress and she has her hair all up and her makeup is all soft. Lady Danbury and her stick, my gosh, I'm enjoying her. And Lady Danbury basically helped raise Simon after his dad sort of shunned him, so he's very respectful of her, but he's here because she's asked. And since she's throwing the first ball after the season has started and the debutants have been introduced, he's going to attend the ball. And he just wants to make his Lady Danbury happy by attending the ball, but is not trying to get married. He's not trying to meet anyone. He just wants to make his aunt happy and see her and just be the man about town. Not interested. Then the next scene is Anthony, the elder brother of the Bridgertons, with his love interest, the opera singer with the fake mole. The lady is pretty. She is beautiful, but I cannot, for the life of me, take that mole seriously. I just can't. We see them all embraced after they have partaken. All embraced, all passionate in each other's company. Anthony, I like. And he tells her basically that he needs to attend this ball and has to help find a husband for his sister, Daphne. And then we get introduced to the idea that the men are also involved in pairing up of the sisters. It's not just the mothers playing arrangements and matchmaker. The men in the family are also responsible for that. And since his father died, as the eldest brother, he's responsible for all his younger siblings. But his approach is more business-like, and he's trying to find someone who will make financial sense for his brother and will do well in maintaining the social status of his for his sister, and maintaining the social status of the family. So he's not out here trying to find the love of her sister's life. He's just trying to find the man that will make financial sense. Like African people say, a man is as beautiful as his pocket honey. It's not me. It's the Sotos. The next scene is Lady Danbury's ball, and everything is as you would expect. Lady Danbury had everything prepared, the costumes, the hall, and everything looked amazing. And as I'm sitting, I can hear the song playing in the background, but like it's classical on the violin, but I'm like, this sounds familiar. I don't know anything about classical music, and I'm like, but this little tune is banging and it sounds familiar. What is this? And then later on, after cracking my brain, I realized it's actually Ariana Grande. It took me way longer than it should have for me to figure out that was Thank You Next, but that was a little nice touch of contemporary. I enjoyed that. So Anthony is like blocking Daphne's game. I mean, Daphne's trying to bring all the boys to the yard, but Anthony's not having it. Nobody's good enough for his sister, so she's just stuck in the corner somewhere waiting with her brothers because nobody can dance with her because Anthony's chasing all the boys away. Then we see Marina. Marina is the cousins of the Farrington, who has come to stay with them. She's beautiful and she has actually blossomed into the it girl at the ball. All the men are just falling upon themselves, honey. They all just want to grab a dance with Marina. So nobody can dance with Daphne and everybody's going for Marina. So the Farringtons are coming out strong, honey. Frustrated with the antics of her brother, Daphne hatches a plan to get rid of him, honey, to get herself a drink, and enters the character of the Sir Burbrook. He's a weirdo. We don't like him. He gives stalker vibes. He has been perving over Daphne since she was 5 and he was an older guy in school, so he is just weird. She's clearly uncomfortable, clearly giving like him signals like, guy, get away from me, and he's just all smitten with her and chasing after her. And then Daphne tries to get away from Sir Burbrook. She actually had fear in her eyes. I don't know what actually has gone down between the two of them. She was fearful of him, and she tries to get away from him, and then while trying to do that, she bumps into the Duke of Hastings, Simon, and they meet for the first time, and she just figures, let me just talk to this guy so that weirdo can leave me alone. So she strikes up a conversation, and obviously Simon is just thinking, oh, here we go again, another woman throwing herself in. Like, I can't deal with Simon's narcissistic personality. He's cute, but he's annoying. Can he be both? So yeah, our girl chats to him, trying to get away from Sir Burbrook, and basically tells him like, look here, like, you ain't nothing to write home about, but anyway, I just met you. And then they figure out that he knows Anthony. They were in college together and they're actually friends, him and Anthony, and basically knocking the girls down together back in the day. So Daphne is not impressed by Sir Simon, Duke of Hastings, I mean, knowing the brother, because she knows the brother's antics. She's familiar with what the brother is known to do. But we see as Daphne's walking away, she gives Simon a little look back. So she was interested a little bit. She was impressed a little bit, even though she's trying to hide it. You can sense the chemistry, Daphne. So the next day, we see the families waiting for the gentlemen to call in now. After the gentlemen have met all the ladies, now they've decided which woman they want. Patriarchy. You know. So they come, the gentlemen come and they bring in flowers. They're calling in. I think that's the initial stage of the courting. And all these different gentlemen come at the Bridgerton. They're coming for Daphne. And Anthony is up to his old tricks, honey, trying to chase the boys away because none of them is good enough for his little sister. And over at the Featheringtons, we see Marina is getting all the flowers, getting all the attentions, and the 3 Featherington sisters are not happy about it. The mom looks like she wants to die. All the color left her little face. Like, she looks like, what is happening? Doing all of this at the Bridgerton household because of Anthony's antics, Daphne's DMs are running dry. Like, the men are not about to come there and be embarrassed by Anthony anymore. So no one is visiting Daphne, and Lady Whistledown hears about this, writes about it in her Shade Room article, her little gossip sheet, and Lord Burbrook finds out, the weasel, and he's like, my chance, no one wants her, I'm gonna go. And he actually gets there and says to her that, oh, seems like no one is coming for you, so it means that me and you are actually destined to be. The audacity, the male audacity. Ugh. So in the next scene, we see Daphne riding her horse with her brother, just venting and complaining about Lady Whistledown and what she's writing, and the fact that the column has just made her, just dropped her social status, and that no one is checking for her anymore. And for the first time, you sort of realize that she's also feeling the heat of the expectations that she was raised for this is her only purpose, is to get married. But you also, in her venting, you hear that she wants to get married, but you also hear the sense of frustration that this is all my life is about. I don't have choices as a woman. So you kind of see that she's, as much as she also wants it, she's not really fully a willing participant. Triggered. I was triggered. Sidebar, there's this little scene after that where you see Lady Danbury sitting in her quarters, smoking the cigar with her hair down. Boss, I mean, I love that lady. And that cigar looked like a joint. It literally looked like a Mary Jane, but I enjoy her. Lady Danbury all the time. In the next scene, you see Anthony and the Duke of Hastings, Simon, sitting having a drink, and Simon is actually teasing him about his little antics with his mistress, or the opera singer, and when will he settle down, actually teasing him about the pressures of being the firstborn son. And then we start noticing that actually Anthony is also not really here for his role. He's just doing what he thinks that he must do, and him being with the opera singer is sort of as a distraction for him from all the pressure that he faces as the heir, or the one that comes after the firstborn son. So you start to sort of understand his behaviors a bit more. The next scene, we see Daphne's mom with Lady Danbury at the opera, and you see them sort of hatching a plan in the back there about giving a certain impression to the gossip mongers or Lady Whistledown about Daphne and, say, the Duke of Hastings, and trying to set them up by actually starting rumors that they're actually together. So they hatch a little plan to invite the Duke for dinner over at Daphne's place and see where it goes from there. During the dinner scene, we see how so now we're at the dinner now that the Duke has come by the Bridgertons, and we see how awkward he is a bit being around this close-knit family, and he hasn't been around a family that shared a mealtime. So already we're starting to notice a bit more things about the Duke, and we see how the siblings get along, the chemistry between them making fun of each other. And Anthony is not looking impressed, honey. He's just trying to figure out what is the Duke doing here, and why did his mom invite him. Everybody gets along with the Duke. We see him and Daphne sharing a little conversations on the side, and everybody can sense the little chemistry between the two, and Anthony is not here for it. He is not liking it at all. So later on, we see him going to speak to the mom privately and instigating a whole argument about why she invited the Duke, because the Duke is never gonna propose to Daphne and he's not interested. And you also get a sense that he's a bit disrespectful to the mom. I mean, he seems to think that he's running the family. He seems very bossy and trying to push down his own opinions without really listening. But the mom also calls him out on the fact that, don't think I don't see you trying to run away from your responsibilities. I do not forget. I see you. and Nini and Candy Brooks. But she lets him know that, Anthony, mind your own. This is what I think is good for Daphne, and this is what I'm gonna do, and he's not for it. And the very next scene, after getting called out by his mother, he goes and breaks up with the opera singer. This guy. And the fact that he did it post-baps, like post-partaking, like typical F-boy behavior. I was just so upset for her on her behalf. Anthony is, he's trash. He breaks up with her. He goes back on his word that he will take care of her, and just because he got confronted and it got hot, he just drops her. Then this next scene, I actually did not see this next scene on the first watch. I've said I was on the phone. I was scrolling and watching, basically twatching. But this storyline moves so quickly, the dialogue moves so quickly, and the scenes, there's a lot of scenes with a lot of characters. I miss this. I noticed Penelope the first time I watched it, and I noticed that I like her, but I completely missed her in the first episode. And there's this scene between her and Colin. Colin is the other Bridgerton sibling, and then you realize that he's her longtime crush, and she's just falling for him, but she's sort of a bit of an social outcast because of her weight. I don't know, some stupid reason, because Penelope is a pretty girl, and there's this other mean girl making fun of her, and then Colin swoops in and saves her from that little situation, and takes her for a little dance, and she's all happy. And then when she thinks that he's gonna go somewhere, he then tells her that, oh, he's gonna go away, and you can see that she's looking sad after that. So Lady Farrington and her lady-in-waiting figure out that Marina is pregnant, and they confront her because in this society you can't even be seen alone with a man, let alone kissing a man, and you are socially ruined. So they need to figure something out. They need to find some man to marry her off to claim this illegitimate baby, because she can't come here and ruin their good family name. Anthony then tells Daphne that she's to marry Lord Burbrook, Nigel Burbrook, and Daphne is not hearing it. And Anthony doesn't care. Basically, he's the best suitor because, according to him, he's got a good credit score. What else does she need? So she's upset. She goes off. So she goes off into the garden just to get a breather, to get away from him. And little Nigel finds a way to weasel himself and follows her to the garden. So of course now here she is with this man alone in a garden. Social dilemma. And he is such a pain in the... Because he says to her that, oh, without me, you're nothing. You need me. And I was just so annoyed, like, get rid of him. Ugh. And he tries to force himself onto her, and she gets him with the right hook. And the Duke saw all of this, so he tried to rush in and save her, but our girl had already saved her with her little mean right hand, and Burbrook was knocked the F out. So he was lying there out like a light. The Duke is impressed with Daphne's right hook, and they talk, and they see that they can actually help each other. They see if they go along with what her mom and his aunt Lady Danbury are trying to do and fake pretend a relationship, it could actually be beneficial for the both of them. So this is where the whole story now begins, and how they're trying to trick the whole community and trick Lady Whistledown, the gossip, to believe that they're actually together and they're a couple. In this way, they would increase her social currency, because now she'll be attached to a man of status. Anyway, and also get him to not have to worry about all these other ladies trying to set him up and hook him up with their daughters, because he'll be otherwise occupied with Daphne. And so their story begins. I actually like these two. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the chemistry. I enjoyed the little banter. I like the fact that she wasn't too taken by him in the beginning, because he does have this douchey, if he was like contemporary times, he'll probably be that guy with the sports car and like the big flashy, he gives off all of that. So I like the fact that she wasn't taken up like, you're going to deserve me because this is what I want, and you're going to help me find a suitor for myself, and this is, I'm looking for this and this and this in a man. So I grew to like our girl Daphne. But this is how the first episode went. I am going to try to review all the episodes. Since I've finished the whole season, I'm going to try very hard to not like give away what happens at the end, or what happens with the future episode. But I've also decided that I am going to start reading the book. I went and I got myself the book, and I'm actually enjoying seeing the difference, or what Shonda and the writers did with the plot and the liberties that they took, because even Julia Quinn said she is actually also excited that they took liberties, they changed up the storyline, that they added new characters that are not in the book, because I mean, creative license, and I'm excited, and I hope you guys join me, and I hope you enjoy these little reviews, and yeah, see you for episode 2.